Hey everyone, Zeddy here again with another Fall of Ulduar mini set card reveal, and well, review, sorry, not reveal. Our reveal is tomorrow, although I'm not revealing no stinky priest cards. Tune in to find out about that. Regardless, the Mage cards have been revealed. We're going to review them on this video, and if you want to win some of these cards, all you have to do, we're giving away 2 of them out of my pocket, 2 mini sets. All you have to do is like and comment in the video description below. Be subscribed to the channel, and basically if we hit 73,000 subs by next Tuesday, so the Tuesday the mini set comes out, I will add another mini set to that giveaway, so hit that sub button. Make me go broke. So right now, Mage and Standard, a lot of Naga Mage and a lot of Spell School like Sith Mage. And well, I think some of those are getting a little bit of help, but not really. Anyways, let's take a look. We have the Meddlesome Servant. We always have a 3-mana 3/4. There's always a 3-mana 3/4, and we got one, and it has Battle Cry. If you've cast 5 or more spells this game, so that theme continues, draw 2 cards. So it's like Arcane Intellect with the 3-mana 3/4. You would think that this is like, it would be like draw 3 cards the way the game is right now. Mage doesn't really struggle to draw cards at the moment. You have especially like the 4-mana finale spell that can get you more spells. You've got the 0-mana draw 2 from the Spell School Mage. I feel like, yeah, you're gonna reliably cast 5 spells probably in Mage. Maybe this is worth running as just a cycle card. It just really depends. Do you need more draw? I don't see this going into Naga Mage. It's not particularly a Naga, and yes, they do cast spells, but they kind of want to go off on that turn, and this doesn't really go with that. I see it more maybe a Spell School Mage, right? Where they play a lot of those cheap Discover spells, generate spells, and then cycle some more. I know like Volume Up has been even like cut down to like 1 in some of those lists, that it's already got so much draw, so much generation, that yeah, a Spider Tank that draws to you probably isn't worth the cut in current standard Hearthstone, at least in my opinion. You might almost want to run just Intellect anyways instead, because you could just play that on 3, get a 3/3 with your weapon if it's up already. So I don't know. I don't think this is a meta player. I think it's a decent card. It's like borderline, right? Maybe that 29 or 30th card in your deck, if you can fit that in there, if you really need even more draw. But again, I don't think Mage is really lacking on that. Sometimes, like I said, they have a bit too much with all the generation, all the craziness going on in the class at the moment. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. Wild even more so. It's not gonna see play there, but maybe it does pop up in that fringe situation. I'm just not entirely sold on it. Next, we have some support for Elemental Mage, which has seen, you know, it did get some support last set. It just hasn't really done anything. And we'll get a bit more of a payoff card in the Tainted Remnant. Everybody likes some, I was gonna say taint, but yeah, let's move on. It's a 5-mana 7/4 Elemental Battle Cry. If you played an Elemental last turn, deal 7 damage, randomly split between all enemies. So it's like a mini Astalor, like, right? It's a mini little, adds like half the damage of an Astalor for 5 mana, as long as you played an Elemental. That's pretty darn good. It can go face, it hits minions. It's not bad. It's just, where is this going, right? Like, I don't think Elemental Mage is even close to being a deck in Standard or Wild at the moment. But this is a really solid card. Like, if Elemental Mage was there, you definitely slot this in. It's aggressively statted too, right? Like, you don't really want to leave a 7/4 up. If you remember, Demon Hunter back in the day had a 5-mana 7/4 that if you attacked this turn, you would deal 4 damage. That got nerfed to a 6/4 and still didn't really do anything. It was still busted back in the day. Not anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, Elemental Mage isn't quite there, but this is it's a really good card. Dealing 7 to the board is great for 5 mana, or coin it on 4 possibly. Really solid. You have that 2-mana 2/2 as well. That we got this expansion. Your next Elemental you play costs 2 less. You play that on 2. You play Tainted Remnant on 3. That's a really good combination of cards. So again, power level wise, the card's pretty good. I just don't see the deck, you know, it's not enough for a deck to be a thing by having like 1 or 2 good cards, because that's all Elemental Mage really has right now. So as it stands right now, I'm going to give the card a 2. But I do think it's quite a good card, and if Elemental Mage continues to get more support and more ways to win and like win the game, I think it's a valid player. But as it stands, yeah, that it's just not quite there yet, right? Like, again, the effect's really strong, fights for the board, pushes damage, really good card, aggressively statted. It's just, what are you doing in Elemental Mage right now? There's just not enough. You got the card draw, you have Generation in that deck, but this isn't your finisher. It's just a good mid-game card. It needs that big finisher. Like, you need to have that in the game right now to win. You need a finisher. Even like the aggressive decks have like Marrowgars of the world, right? Like, it's not quite enough. So I'll give it a 2 in standard, a 2 in wild, but I very much expect to see the second Elemental Mage is decent enough. This card's going into it, I think it is a good card. It's just missing that home. And lastly, we got a card that will make me say on stream all the time, random, into maybe more random. 2 mana, shadow spell, Void Scripture. You discover a spell for 2 mana. That's not great. You know, Mage can discover 1 mana for 1 mana, a spell from outside their other spell schools that they haven't played, which is a lot better. However, as I have learned, there's more to read on the card, and so far we haven't had a big reading error, so it's not start yet. If you have enough mana to play it, you cast a copy of it at a random enemy. So let's say you've played the 3 mana spell from Priest that makes your first spell of the turn cost 2 less, and you have 10 mana. So you play Void Scripture. For 0 mana, you discover Pyroblast. You could put that could hit face. You could get the pyro. It will hit a random enemy. Could be the enemy hero. If there's no minions on the board, it's guaranteed to hit that. Then you also get that in hand. You could deal 20 damage in that dream situation where you had to discover a legendary spell to begin with. Discovering a spell means you're discovering from your pool. So it's mage or neutral. So like, you know, the Sunwell or whatever. But other than that, you know, you're getting some value, and you can get double the value on top of that, especially if you hit like an AoE, a secret you can cast twice, you can get more objections. Everybody loves more objections, things like that, right? So it's a solid utility card. It's just, do I hard run it? And these type of cards, you could argue it, because like Spell School Mage has 1 shadow spell right now, right? Reverberations, which is really good. But you run Void Scripture, which can get you more value. It's another easy shadow activator. So this has a shot to really get into Spell School Mage, purely for the fact that it has the shadow spell school on it, and also the fact I can get more stuff and maybe cast it too, right? So there's some pretty good things going on here. I just don't know if it makes the cut again. It'll be discovered. Vast Wisdom, School Teacher, Emphasize the Maxitude, all those things can discover this. You're going to see it one way or the other, but do you hard run it? Is it worth running? I think it could be. Again, just for that easy shadow activation, for that value, and the double value, right? Casting a copy of it. It doesn't consume the card. It's a copy of it. That can be solid. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. And in wild, you do have Quest Mage and all that, but they have better, they have like Magic Trick and even more cards that don't even make the cut right now that I would argue are probably a little bit better as they're cheaper and all that. So I'll give it a 2 for wild, but again, I think all these cards are pretty decent. It's just like, do they fit in? Mage has got a really, really cohesive tool of cards that work really well together. So it's hard to slot in there unless it's really broken, and then, well, people complain. So there you go. The Mage cards are revealed. We only have 1 day left of reveals. Demon Hunter is tomorrow morning, and then I'm supposed to reveal Priest cards, but Blizzard's going to regret that decision. You'll see when the video goes live tomorrow. If you enjoyed the video, please like and like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.